Hi everyone, this is Steve from Codename One. I'm just going to demonstrate the new Travis CI integration that we just added to Codename One settings. If you're not familiar with Travis CI, it's a cool service that integrates with GitHub so that you can automatically run your unit tests and build your project every time you commit a change to GitHub. It's really valuable for maintaining quality assurance. So I've added this Travis CI option into Codename One preferences. So I'm in the preferences for the GeoViz project that I created a long time ago, but I'm just going to add continuous integration to it. So click on this and it gives me this button to enable Travis CI. Click on this and it's going to download a Travis script and set it all up so that my project will be dialed into Travis. The first thing it's popping up is this little info window reminding me to set the environment variables. I'm going to get to that. Well, I'm actually going to skip that for this video as it's not really necessary. So the first screen that I see after enabling it is I've got this grid of checkboxes or switches to list which jobs I want enabled because I've got enterprise level permissions here. I've got an option to have jobs run on Java SE, which is the Codename One Simulator, a whole bunch of different versions of Android, and a whole bunch of different, well, a couple different versions of iOS. If you're not an enterprise subscriber, you'll see something closer to this, and these will be grayed out. So you'll be able to run your unit tests on Java SE, but anything on device you would require an enterprise subscription for because that requires the synchronous build and synchronous automated builds. You'll notice right now we've got a smattering of versions of Android and a couple versions of iOS. We will be adding more versions later or as time goes on, and we'll be adding more platforms also. The Android tests would be run in an Android emulator on Travis, and the iOS tests would be run in the iOS simulator on Travis. So now that I've got this turned on, I'm going to go into Travis, and this is the repository where my project resides. It's the GeoViz demo. I created it a long time ago. There's a companion blog post for it. So on Travis, I'm going to go in the main page. First of all, I'm on travisci.org. .org because it's a public repository. It's just a demonstration app. If you've got a private repository, you'd be using travisci.com. .org is free. .com, they've got plans and pricing. So in order to enable my GeoViz repository, I need to go into my profile by clicking the top right button with my name, and it'll have a list of all of my repositories. If it's not listed, you can go sync account and it'll reload all your repositories from GitHub. I'm just going to do a search, and there's the GeoViz demo. I'll switch it to on. So what this is going to do now is it's telling Travis to monitor that repository for any changes and to run the tests that my Travis script describes. Now I just need to add my tests and the Travis scripts to the repo. So, oops, well, the list of all the files. So the things that were added are this .travis.yml file and the .travis folder. These were added when I enabled Travis through the Codename One settings. So in git status, you can see actually there's a few files that aren't committed, but I'm going to just commit the Travis stuff. So I'll go git add Travis and the star because just all the Travis stuff I want to add. And I'll commit. And I'll push it. Okay, now let's go to Travis, travisci.org, and it should pop up there. It's just popped up in my left column there, and I can actually watch the build happens as it goes through. It's very verbose, It shows as it's loading all of the dependencies on the instance. It shows the environment. And it should only take a second here because it's going to build the project and it's going to run the project's unit tests. Well, there we go. Pass. Test 1 failed 0. So it works, and I should get the little green light here. If I refresh, it should say, instead of build unknown, it should say build passing. I don't know why this. Well, anyways, there it is, build passing. And you can actually, what's fun to do is to take this little badge, and if you click on it, it gives you a link that you can add it directly to a web page or your GitHub README. So that's it. Now that that's set up, every time I make changes to the GeoViz demo, it's going to run the unit tests against them, and it'll let me know. I'll even receive an email if it starts failing. So if you haven't started doing unit tests with Codename One, I recommend you do it. You'll notice in my test packages here, I do have one simple unit test. This is all that's being run right now. But even by just running this one simple test, in order to run the test, it has to first build the project against the Codename One libraries. So if it fails to build, then it will fail the unit test also. So just throw in, if you need to, just an empty unit test just to get things rolling. So that's really all I wanted to show with this demo. You can actually, let's see what it'll look like. Before I go, I'll show you what it looks like when I select everything. And that's where I do want to heed the instructions about the environment variables, because for the devices, it needs to send the build to the Codename One build server, and for that you need to provide your username and password in the environment variables. Okay, so those are all checked, and I'm going to just set up, I'll go into the settings, because I need to set the environment variables. And I'll pull this off, well, there we go, environment variables. So CN1 user will be my Codename One username, and I'm just going to pull this off screen for a second. And okay, so I'll put them back here. So you can see I've set the CN1 pass and CN1 user environment variables to my Codename One user and password. And I don't think I need to save anything. It's just got them. And go back into Codename One settings. We can see I've got the full grid selected. And now I just need to commit it. When I changed it in Codename One settings, you'll notice that the travis.yml file has been changed. Okay, so these will take a little bit longer to run, partly because the iOS tests need a Mac, and they can stay queued for a while. But you'll notice now when I click on the job, instead of just showing me the output, it gives me this little matrix that shows 10.1 through 10.7, all the jobs that are being run. And it'll tell me as they're progressing. And if I want to see, like the Java SE test is running already, it's 24 seconds in, and I can click on that and it'll show me the log just like it did before. But there, it took 31 seconds and that one passed. So it's waiting to run the Android and the remainder of the tests. So that's quite a handy thing. Another thing that I'll just mention before I go, that in the settings, I'd just like to go through some of the different options that it has. Um, you can set up cron jobs. So if you want it to just build and test your project monthly or weekly or daily, you can do that, and it's easy right here. So that it doesn't rely on changes that you make to your project. That can be helpful for recognizing breakages that happen to things outside of your control, like perhaps something becomes deprecated in the Codename One library and your build fails. So anyways, this is the Travis CI integration in Codename One. Now it's time to get busy adding continuous integration to all of your tests.